kind of a filler episode, but let's do it anyway. So this episode opens up with Minnie, Miss Juicy Baby, and Tonya out to lunch, and they're discussing the catastrophe that was her birthday dinner. And Miss Minnie, as usual, is playing victim. And oh, why would she do that at my birthday? And I like Tonya because Minnie, I called her Miss Minnie. Minnie had an issue with Tonya because she felt like she was taking up for her friend Sam, and I do agree with that as well. But I also feel like Tonya was being the voice of reason. And even then, at the dinner, Tonya didn't back down at the brunch. Tonya didn't back down at Minnie because Minnie was trying to play victim, and it was my birthday and all, and you know how she goes on. And Tonya was just like, "But you asked her a question. If you didn't want a confrontation, why would you bring it up?" I think my problem with Minnie, aside from the lies, is that she tries to act so rough and buck and tough, but then she plays baby when it doesn't work out in her favor. Because I even mentioned it in my last review. There was no way that Minnie was going to get up and actually fight Tonya or Sam. She's not about that life, but she acts like it, and then she hides behind her trauma, or makes up something that is affecting her for people to feel sorry for her. So you overlook all of the lies. You overlook all of the confusion that she causes. Because if you think about it, Minnie causes all of the confusion in this group with her lies, because people are defending her. Some people aren't believing her. Then some people are being vilified for not believing her lies. Every time that this group has an issue, it's Miss Minnie. Check the previous seasons and you will see that I am telling the truth. Minnie is the core problem here, and I hope that somebody really addresses her mess this season or probably an upcoming season, because the lying has got to stop. And as a viewer, I get so frustrated because I'm like, do you guys not see what she's doing? Do you not see this? Even when they watch it back and they go to the reunion, I'm like, do you not see she is the cause of all of your issues in this group? Address her. Like, deal with it. And we cut to the twins who are at the hospital with Andrea's baby girl. And then Andrea tells her sister Amanda that Chris is back in court in Texas over like some tickets or stuff. And she doesn't know if he's coming back. And I'm like, girl, this is your storyline every season, that you don't know if Chris is coming back. He leaves and he comes back. And I think, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think because she's a little person, I think she deals with a sort of mental and verbal abuse from Chris because he's average height. I do not think that Andrea would deal with the way Chris is treating her if he was a little person as well. I feel like she maybe thinks that she got like this prize because she's this little person and she was able to get an average sized guy. So she deals with a lot of his abuse. And I really hope that she breaks free of that. In a preview of the next episode, it seems like she may break free, but I don't know. I just feel like Andrea is in such a verbally and mentally abusive relationship, and I honestly feel like it's because she feels like she has a prize in this average size dude. And girl, from an average size person, you don't have a winner. You got a loser. That is a scrub that you just need to throw back. You can do better at any height. Sam and Tonya are at the park with her kids, and Tonya reveals to Sam that her children are going to be taken for about a month by their father. And besides that being kind of odd, because I think it's very weird that they're doing like a month-to-month thing with the kids. I don't think it's very healthy, but I do realize that Tonya is down in Atlanta for the show. So they probably worked out some kind of agreement, but it's just weird that the kids are leaving her for a month and going with the father, and then they may or may not come back. It's just... to me, it seems unstable, but I understand your hustle, Tonya. I know that you're doing what you have to do to make money to provide for your children, so I'm not hating on that. I just think I feel like it's a little bit unstable for the kids. But anyway, what bothered me about this was that Tonya and Sam both said that Tonya took the kids and like flee to Atlanta. And the way they were saying was that the father didn't know, and it was, and like and Tonya didn't have his permission. So it was very weird for me because I'm just like, wait, should you be saying this? Because if he wants to take you to court, he can use this tape as evidence. So it was just really, really weird to me that they were making light of the fact that she kidnapped her children and took them to Atlanta. So I don't, maybe it wasn't that, but the way they kept on saying it was like, oh, Tonya just took the kids anyway. And then Tonya was like, well, I took my kids anyway, and I came to Atlanta. And I'm like, you cannot do that. But maybe we'll find out more what's going on with them, because I think the father comes to visit her. Something. I just feel like it was just that whole conversation was just really weird. Like, so you fleed with the kids and they still put you on this show? Something in the water ain't clean. Money and Miss Juicy Baby go to visit the Atlanta Social Club, and they're asking them about charity events. Truth be told, viewers, the producers set something up, and they needed something for the girls to do, and they probably reached out to the Atlanta Social Club, and the Atlanta Social Club said yes, because it's free publicity for their club. Anyway, they are invited to a masquerade ball, but while they're there, Money is asking all of these questions about, will we be discriminated against because we're little? And I felt like she was trying to make something out of nothing, like trying to make like a discrimination storyline that I just didn't see. That I didn't feel like they gave that off. But she was asking if they were going to be discriminated because they were little. I was like, are you going to be discriminated against because you're dark? Because the way those girls, see, they didn't give off that they would judge people because of their height. They gave me something different. Was it just me? Because I was just like, they do not seem like the type to let just people, period, from where the Little Women of Atlanta are from into this club. That was just my interpretation of it, because they seemed very uncomfortable with their vernacular, with Money and Miss Juicy Baby's vernacular. So I don't know. I didn't think that, to me, I just didn't think that they would mesh well together, if you catch my drift. We finally meet Minnie's guy, her bae, Gary from the speed dating, and they meet up for lunch, and right off the bat, she's telling him about her issues that she has with the girls. And I'm like, Minnie, this is too soon. Because it's weird, because when he walked into the restaurant, they had the label on him, Minnie's boyfriend. But then the way that Minnie and Gary were speaking, I was just like, is this like a third or second date? It seemed really uncomfortable for him to be her boyfriend. They just seemed to be in the new stages of dating. It seemed like they were dating. It didn't seem like they were like relationship, which is what he was labeled. Maybe he was mislabeled. Anyway, then Minnie drops this nugget that he has to meet her mom. And I'm just like, maybe they are both not comfortable with the cameras, but how she's speaking to him and what she's asking him to do with meeting her mother does not translate with how they're interacting with each other. And I'm just like, Minnie, is this another lie? Like, is this another guy like Pastor Troy that you didn't got to put on this show by saying, please be my boyfriend and you can get some camera time? Because they don't seem real, in my opinion. And he was being very vulgar, and it was just awkward. And I'm like, you're her boyfriend and you're about to meet her mom. Isn't there some time that goes into a relationship that does that? They seem like they just met. They seem like they still at speed dating. Andrea, Minnie, and Amanda are working out, and while they're working out, during like a chill down session, Andrea admits that Chris is not coming back right away. She said that she told him to stay back in Texas because she needs some space. And I was very proud of her for doing that. I feel like maybe she just got tired. But then she did reveal that she's afraid that she can't get anybody else and she doesn't want to start over. And I knew it probably, I don't think that she'll admit it, but I still feel like that has something to do with her being little, that she feels like because of her height, she probably can't get anybody better than Chris. And girl, you can do so much better. But I am glad that she got her strength back and it's telling him to stay. I don't know how long it will last, because at the end of the day, she has 2 kids by this guy and she wants to make it work. Average size people go through this. You know what I mean? Especially when you have a child involved, especially when you're the woman, you want it to work out with this guy. And sometimes you're just in a bad situation with a dude who dropped his seed in you who should not have. So you can't work out everything with a sperm donor. Earlier in the episode, Money and Sam had a brunch. A lot of stuff happens over food with these ladies. But unlike any other reality TV show, they actually eat their food. Anyway, Sam discusses with Money that Tanya's baby father is coming to take the kids for a month, and Money projects her situation, her custody battle that she was having with her son's father onto Tanya's situation, and she goes like buck and thinks that Tanya is in a worse off situation than it actually turns out to be. And she actually pops up over Tanya's home and tries to like stop her from getting the kids and grilling her and asking from giving the kids over to the father and grilling her and asking her if she got anything in writing. And you know, Tanya's kids has just left that like a few hours before Money came over. She's already dealing with a bunch of emotions, and then she has somebody who she did not tell her situation to in her business asking her all these questions, and she handled it really, really well. She, you know, shut Money down in a very nice way, and she sent her on her way. Then she confronted Sam, and she confronted her in a very sweet and calm way, a way that was really big of her, because if Tanya was upset and like went off, she had every right to, because she was dealing with something really, really difficult. And she had one of her friends tell her business and another friend come over and try to, you know, make it a bigger situation than what it was. But anyway, she confronted Sam, and, you know, they squashed that and they worked it all out. Money and the twins and Miss Juicy go shopping for this masquerade ball that they're going to with the Atlanta Social Club. And nothing really interesting happens besides Miss Juicy saying that she's not going. But I did want to talk about this because up to this moment, Money has had about 4 different braid hairstyles. Like, I don't know how long they filmed this this episode, like how many days how many days it was, or because it seemed like she had like a fresh braid hairstyle in almost every scene, and I'm just like, are you getting new braids in every week? That can't be healthy. That explains your unhealthy edges. You cannot get braids like that all the time, Money. You got to chill out. Stick with the lace fronts for a minute. Although she did have some cute looking braids, and I will say that out of the 4 different braid hairstyles that she has had up to now, she's had about 3 good looking ones. Them old dusty ones that was pulling her hair back, she had them in one scene. But the other one, she had some fresh new ones that actually work, and she took, you know, some baby hair and laid it down. So she was looking really good in them braids. But you gotta stop, honey. You gotta stop. You're messing up your hairline. Minnie, her new guy Gary, and her mom meet up for dinner, and her mother is just as bitter as usual. She's being really nasty to him and really grilling him and being, in my opinion, too overprotective for a daughter that's a pathological liar and probably crazy as all hell. Like, if I was Minnie's mom and I knew that my daughter had issues, I would be very happy that there's a guy in her life. I would probably, you know, try to get him to marry her within like a month or so. You know, your daughter has an issue. You need to be happy that there is a guy who is circling her and wanting to be interested in someone who is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You better stop acting all high and mighty and realize that your daughter is a little nutty. Finally get to this masquerade ball, and as soon as the girls enter, they start to feel othered by the crowd. First of all, this Atlanta Social Club masquerade party looked dry and lame as hell. It was so boring, so empty. It did not seem like any fun. I feel like maybe a lot of those people were like hired extras. It just seemed way too stale for me. And I was just like, why would they put this on TV as an advertisement of the Atlanta Social Club? So I feel like maybe a lot of those people were extras, hired help. Anyway, they start to feel uncomfortable and other because people are looking at them. Then, and I didn't want to comment on this because I'm an average size person. I feel like this is probably something I would have done. But the girls are speaking to one of the leaders, or I don't want to say leaders like it's a clan. One of the heads of the Atlanta Social Club, and violation number 1, she looks at them and says, "Oh, cute." Now, I was offended by that as an average height person. But then she's speaking to Money, and she couldn't hear Money. So she just bends out a little bit just to hear her more clearly, and they all get offended. Like, don't bend down to me, average height person. And I honestly understood that, but I'm just like, you guys have to look at the situation. She's at a party, there's a lot of music. You said something, no shade, Money, but a lot of times you have to really listen to hear what you're saying, because there's obviously a lot of teeth in there. So sometimes a lot of your stuff comes out mumbled, and you have the southern accent. So she probably couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear what you said, to be honest with you. So I didn't feel like that she was doing that to be offensive. Maybe she was, but they were highly offended by her bending down. I was like, ooh. Average height person thing to learn 101. If you can't hear a little person, you better not bend down. But I do think that she was out of order by calling them cute. Now that I can see. Miraculously, this crowd goes from othering them and making them feel weird about being little people to all of a sudden they just started having fun and dancing with them. I don't know how that turn came so quickly, but TV magic. So anyway, while everybody seems to be getting along now, Sam pulls Minnie out to talk to her about what happened at her birthday. And Sam apologizes to Minnie. I don't understand the hold that Minnie has over these women, because she just, first of all, Minnie didn't even apologize back. It was, I apologize for responding to what you said. It was so, like, not even a real apology. And I was so disappointed because Sam sat there and gave her this heartfelt apology, even though I personally feel like she should not have. I just don't understand why nobody will call Minnie out on her lies and, like, stick to it. Because it's, like I said before, it's monumental lies. Lying about being pregnant and losing your child. That is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That is a monumental lie. That is a sadistic lie. And they all just easily forgive it and don't deal with it. That's my thing. I'm not saying be angry at her and shun her, but you guys need to deal with the fact that she is a pathological liar. But they don't. So the episode ends at Sam and Tonya's home. Tonya's feeling some sort of way because her kids aren't there, and she FaceTimes her son, and she has to get off the phone. He doesn't want her to go. They finally hang up, and she's like crying and really feeling like she doesn't know if she did the right thing. We don't know either. Anyway, so that's where the episode ends. Next week, I don't think it'll be a filler episode like this one. I didn't mind this episode, though, although it was a filler episode. I don't mind filler episodes that introduce new storylines, and this one did. Some filler episodes just throw cutting room footage at you just to get a certain amount of weeks of footage in, but this one didn't. So next week seems like it's probably going to be like half and half. I think we're going to get half filler and half drama, which is fine for me because Tanya's baby father, I think, comes to town, and he gets into a fight with Chris, who is miraculously back in town again. Anyway, it looks like it's going to be good, and I'll be there to review it. So I hope and pray I see you guys next week. Bye-bye.